Hey there guys, and welcome to the second part of my F1 2016 Ultimate Career Mode series. And for some reason, by the way guys, the game or my capture card or whatever setup I'm using isn't capturing the engineer's voice, any in-game talking for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but we've got a new part fitted. Anyway, this weekend we've got chassis weight reduced, so you'll have seen in the practice session in Australia that we bought that part for Bahrain. It's been fitted, so going into the laptop now, as you can see, we've gone for a balanced tyre setup and just showing you the R&D there. As we can see, just the chassis weight. I think we'll probably look for the downforce next with this Renault, because yeah, I think the downforce and well, actually the problem with this Renault is a lot of things, to be fair. There's the downforce, there's the engine power, and there's the weight of it. The fuel isn't actually that bad, and nor's the drag much of an issue. Drag will help, but we're just going to look at engine power, downforce, and chassis weight. I think chassis weight with the Renault this season is going to be a big thing, because it seems the Renault's quite a heavy car for some reason, so you know, that's always going to be a good thing. But we're in FP1, as you can see. It's nice and sunny in Bahrain. Of course, in 2014, they changed to a night race, but they do have the day sessions in practice. And with this game, obviously, having the dynamic day, well, not dynamic, but these are sort of dynamic sessions, if you like, with FP1, FP2 being in the day, and then FP3, you know, it's quite nice. It reminds me of F1 2012, actually, for some reason. Don't know why, just does. But as you can see, we're just doing the, what the hell do you call it? The track acclimatization now. And as you can see, coming on to the third lap, I think this lap I actually nailed everything perfectly. And I know a few of you are going to say, well, yeah, you would, because you got the racing line on. But, you know, it's still not that easy. I mean, I messed up a few times with in qualifying in Australia. If you haven't seen the video already, go check it out. But in Australia, in qualifying, we crashed out with the racing line on, so it's not really there to help performance, it's just more there to sort of get comfortable, I guess. Because, I mean, the braking line isn't accurate on this game anyway, per se. I mean, I find myself braking not when it says to brake, but we did that, track acclimatization. As you can see, that is what we were aiming for, the downforce, 475 points, and I think even after this first session, we're going to have enough. So we've skipped on to qualifying, because FP2 and FP3 was just the same, trying to get the track acclimatization, trying to get the tyre wear test and the qualifying pace sorted for qualifying, because qualifying pace in this Renault is pretty bad. So I really wanted to try and get some running in, and it just didn't work. I didn't even bother wanting to show you the practice, because it just went to shit. So here we are on our qualifying lap. This is our best lap of well, this isn't Q1, Q2, Q3. This is just short qualifying. So this is our one and only lap that we ran in qualifying. As we can see, we're on the super soft tyre around Bahrain, trying to get the fastest possible time. And Kevin Magnussen obviously out-qualified us in qualifying, with us crashing out in Australia. So we were qualifying at the back. So really, we can only go forward. So any position above P22 is good enough for me for now. But as you can see, the team objective at the top left there is P17, and this Renault is probably the third slowest car. So you've got 22.21 by Manor, 20.19 by Sauber, and then you've got 18 and 17 by Renault. So really, we have to be the fastest car of the bottom three, and that's going to be tough, to be fair, because, you know, Manor, they've been bringing upgrades. Sauber, obviously not really being able to bring any upgrades with the issues they've been having with money and resources, obviously showing in the game, which is quite nice. But yeah, just coming through to the end of the final sector. It wasn't too bad a lap, I guess. I mean, practice sessions, I didn't really do proper qualifying sims because I was on the soft tyre for some reason, so yeah, it wasn't really representative. But as you can see, Massa's done a 32.3, is that? So obviously we're going to be nowhere near him. But where is this lap going to put us in qualifying? At the moment, it's in P3 with a 33.1. So that's a pretty close time. It's only, I think, around 8/10 off Massa in the Williams. So that's not too bad. But as we can see, Kevin Magnussen crosses the line now, and he sets a 33.4. So we've just about managed to out-qualify Kevin Magnussen there, and we're ahead of Jenson Button in the McLaren Honda, so that's surprising to see. McLaren obviously in real life managing to get points positions in Bahrain. So here we can see we got a pass, we exceeded 18th position on the grid, we passed the valid laps, we didn't get any penalties, and we get a career boost, so we're able to get some upgrades for the downforce. As you can see here, there we are, we qualified 16th, so I'm not really sure what the 10th position was, but as you can see, we have slowly caught up to Kevin Magnussen after that qualifying session, but not really enough to get ahead of him. But our driver position in the team is definitely going to increase after that race, and as we can see, we're now 4 out of 10 with the team, so it's okay. After a shoddy Australia, can't really expect too much. And as we can see now, after qualifying, we're able to get this downforce part fitted for the Renault to get into the next race, which is China, I believe. So China will be a pretty good track to have this on. Of course, there's a good middle sector there where downforce is quite critical. And as you can see by the orange bar, that is going to be brought for the next race in China. So looking forward to that, but we can't focus on China too much at the moment. We've got the race to deal with. P16, what can we do from there? So here we are, round number 2 of the Formula 1 2016 Championship season around the Sakir Circuit, Bahrain. 15 corners, 2 DRS zones, circuit length 5.4 kilometres with a max speed of 340 kilometres an hour, and Pedro de la Rosa setting the fastest lap, 131.4 in 2005. So, Bahrain, pretty good track for us, as you saw in previous seasons. We got unlucky in the Raikkonen season with the puncture, but this season in the Renault, we seem to have tyre wear pretty sorted. I mean, it's not great, obviously, but now you can see in championship standings, Hamilton leading by Rosberg and Vettel, as we got some team radio.
Okay, Tom, you did a good job in qualifying, second race of the season. Let's see what you got.
So there we are, some encouraging words from my engineer there. Second race of the season, of course. We are a rookie in Formula 1, but as we can see, lining up the grid, Nico Rosberg, Max Verstappen, Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Kvyat putting in a good job for Toro Rosso there, Sebastian Vettel in 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Massa 7th, Sainz 8th, Bottas 9th, Perez 10th, Hamilton down in 11th, Button in 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Alonso 14th, Grosjean, myself, Nasser, Magnussen, Ericsson, Gutierrez, and Verline and Haryanto, lining out the 22 cars on the grid. So here we are, lining up at the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're actually going to have a look at our strategy this time, because we did a piss poor job in Australia, just completely forgetting everything new about the game. Just for some reason thought it was like F1 2015, you just start it and you just go about your duties. But no, this game, definitely you have to look into your strategies, see what's viable. Running the super soft tyre first, then 2 softs right at the end of the race. 29 laps. I had a look here to see what sort of stints we could do. Of course, 7 laps on the super soft, so not really a durable tyre, but the mediums weren't really the fastest tyre around here, so you did have to go quite aggressive at this circuit. And 46 minutes long, it's a long old race, but here we are. We've also got the formation lap. I finally put it back in. I again just completely forgot to check all the settings last time in Australia, so for some reason we didn't have formation lap, we didn't have safety cars, we didn't have anything last time, but we're doing the formation lap. I'm speeding it up because you guys probably don't want to see me slowly go around on the formation lap. It's good for me to do because it also gives me time to speak to you guys about the race and sort of our plans, and also just to warm up your tyres. I don't know whether it actually does anything on this game. I've heard a few people saying it doesn't actually do anything, like it doesn't make a difference whether you do it correctly or not. But yeah, it's a fun feature, probably one that I'll keep on just because it's something entertaining to do. But I can see a lot of people just turning this off, to be honest, and just getting a bit fed up of it. League races might be fun with it, but you know, we'll see. But coming through now to the grid, we're lining up P16 in our grid slot, just behind Romain Grosjean and Fernando Alonso. So here we are, lining up on the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round number 2 of the Formula 1 2016 Championship. So here we are, lining up on the grid. We've got 3, now 4, now 5 red lights. And away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix with the manual starts as well. We practiced our start with the formation lap. Another thing that's quite good about the formation lap, you can practice your starts, and got a good start compared to Grosjean. We're going to take this opportunity to go up the inside, and we've been pushed over the curb, and the FIA has realised that we had no other choice but to go over that curb because we just got turned into, so we haven't got to give any positions back. So that's us up into a surprising P9 after qualifying in P16. We've already made up half the amount of positions we qualified in, so we've made up 8 positions now in the first lap, which pretty impressive stuff, I'm not going to lie. Pretty good start for us, but you know, I can see us just dropping back from here, especially with the Renault not being a terrible car basically. But if we've got slower cars behind us that can back the rest of the field back from us, that would be quite nice to see. But through some of these corners, we are starting to close up on signs a little bit in the Toro Rosso. They've also brought some upgrades to Bahrain, so we should see quite a strong performance from them, which is actually why we saw Fiat qualifying P4, I think that was. So yeah, Toro Rosso looking good at the early part of the season, just like they were in real life this year. So, you know, pretty good. It's a really good game, to be honest. I'm loving it. I'm loving the career mode. I'm loving the fact that cars and teams are developing at different rates. So we're seeing the Toro Rosso at the top now, but who knows? Maybe by Spa, they might be back down outside the top 10, maybe like they are now. So, you know, I just love this career mode because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to develop what, who's going to be where, and it just adds another level to it, unlike 2015. But as you can see, lap 2, the cars are actually getting so defensive. They're going up against the wall, so I quite like that as well from Ultimate AI. I can't stress enough how much this is on Ultimate AI, but pop it up the inside of signs there. Rather unexpected move. He braked a little bit early, and we braked maybe a little bit later than we thought we would, and we just pop it down the inside of Carlos Sainz. So that's us up into P7 now, which is pretty good for us. But as we can see, there's 4 cars battling here, and that's because Daniel Kvyat in the Toro Rosso is holding up the 2 Ferraris and Daniel Ricciardo. So somehow, in a Renault, we're managing to hold P7 and actually take P6 from Daniel Ricciardo. I can't believe I'm saying this in just our second race of the season, considering in Australia we were absolutely nowhere for the start of that race. I think we were running around in P13 for like the first few laps at least. So, and now we're in P6. So, and that's got this hasn't got anything to do with chassis weight. We've just been so fortunate with how we started off, and also just the battles and Kvyat holding up everyone. We've just been so fortunate. We've actually been able to exploit these battles and just be able to go for the overtakes. And apologies, by the way, if you can hear the beeping like in the background. I did decide to try and turn shift tones on like the F1 drivers do in real life, so you just listen to a beep and you shift. I didn't realise it would come through the TV, because I also because the commentary and all that doesn't come through. I thought this might not either, and only afterwards I realised it did. So apologies for that. That won't be on for the next, well, for any of the other races. I've turned that off now. But as we can see, coming on to lap 3, we're getting behind Sebastian Vettel, who's actually getting in the slipstream of Daniel Kvyat, and we're going to pop it up the inside of Vettel. And we was hoping to try and get up the inside of Raikkonen, but he holds it beautifully round the outside of Daniel Kvyat. So he manages to get his Ferrari up into a critical P3 to be able to pull away from his teammate Sebastian Vettel. And while we're at it, we've caught Kvyat completely napping, and we've just gone up his inside for P4. So on the 3rd lap in a Renault on Ultimate AI, we're in P4. That's not going to last. I know it's not going to last. But let's just see how long we can battle with, and see how long we can stay with Raikkonen as well, because I can bet my bottom dollar that we are not going to be able to stay with Raikkonen. He's in clear air. He's in a Ferrari. So we should be able to see the ultimate pace of Ultimate AI now coming through. But we've just about managed to get DRS, which is going to be critical to stay ahead of Sebastian Vettel here. So, but you know, you can already see Kimi. He's pulled away so much on that straight with the Ferrari power unit. As we can see, lap 6, he's nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. But Daniel Ricciardo is behind us, and he's now trying to go up the inside at the final corner. He backs out of it. But yeah, somehow we've managed to hold this massive train behind us, as you can see on the minimap. But cars are already in the pits on lap 6. Our lap to stop was lap 7. So we're going to go to lap 7, Probably a mistake, because now everyone else is going to get an undercut on us and we're in a slower car. So we probably should have gone for the undercut strategy looking back in hindsight. But we're in P2 in this race. So I know everyone else has made pit stops, but we are running in P2 somehow in a Renault. But we're coming into the pits now on lap 7, braking for the line. And we managed to do that quite nicely, actually. Maybe losing a tenth here and there, but, you know, better to be safe than sorry. But we're coming into the pits now for our first pit stop to fit a set of the soft tyres. And as we can see, Daniel Kvyat, that's not Kvyat, that's Carlos Sainz, has come into the pits. So luckily we haven't been held up in the pit stops, because that again could have cost us quite a fair bit of time. But as we can see, Pascal Wehrlein and Haryanto starting on the soft tyres there. So they're ahead of us, but look at that. We are ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Somehow, Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes hasn't been able to jump us. But we're in P13. Pit stops are still a little bit off because there's a few people that stayed out on the super soft tyres somehow. And there's a few people coming in now to fit the soft tyres. So, you know, weird strategies going on. But as you can see, Kvyat actually managed to jump us in the Toro Rosso. So showing how much time we lost doing that outlap. But as you're about to see, we are so damn lucky, because we lost so much time and so many positions. But look at that, you can see Pascal Wehrlein and Haryanto holding up Felipe Massa, Daniel Ricciardo and Kvyat, who all jumped us in the pit stops. And thanks to them, we're going to have DRS, and with our lower wings, I think, is the reason why we're able to get ahead of Kvyat and Ricciardo. We're able to get back up to P7. So still a pretty respectable position for this Renault car. And Wehrlein hasn't come in yet, so he's on the soft tyres. He's planning to go maybe 11 laps, something like that, 11 or 12 laps. So we need to get past him right now if we're to get ahead of Felipe Massa. That's exactly what we've done. We've put it up the inside. And as you can see, Felipe Massa is on super soft tyres. So I don't know whether he's already made a pit stop and got on super soft, or if he hasn't even stopped at all. But I would call that questionable if he hasn't stopped at all and gone on super soft tyres. He's only just ahead of us, but he's come in the pits. So that's exactly what happened. He hadn't come in for a pit stop somehow. So really bizarre strategy there, but nevertheless, it's put us back into P4. So after all those pit stops, after losing so much time to Ricciardo and Kvyat on the out, or you know, on their undercut lap, somehow we managed to get ahead of them thanks to the Manor. So bravo to Manor. Thank you so much for doing that. But as you can see, lap 15 now, Lewis Hamilton is all over the back of us in the Mercedes, and I don't think we're going to be able to hold him back. As you can see, he goes up the inside quite nicely there. But we tried looking around the outside, because I know the AI go a bit slow on the apex, but Hamilton just parked it beautifully there. But as you can see, lap 15, we're actually the ones with DRS, so we're coming back at Lewis Hamilton. Now, whether he's reserving fuel or whether he's got higher wings than us, I don't really know why we breezed past him so easily with the DRS, but nevertheless, let's put us in P4. And as you can see, Hamilton going up the inside lap 16, but we just hold it beautifully round the outside. Somehow managing to find grip on these soft tyres after pitting on lap 7, I believe. So we've done 10 laps now on these soft tyres, and Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton are both all over the back of us. Hamilton's gone past Vettel as he ran wide through that corner, but we're coming into the pits, only measuring 10 laps on the soft tyre, which means for the final stint we're going to have to do around 12 laps on the soft tyre. And these tyres felt horrible after the end of this stint, so it's going to be really difficult to hold this position. I was thinking at the start of the race when I was P4, you know what, I won't battle these guys behind because I know they're just going to get ahead of us. But once I realised actually myself, Vettel and Hamilton and Ricciardo were all pulling away from the rest of the field, I thought, you know what, bugger it, I'm going to fight for this position, P4. But as you saw in pit stops there, Renault gave us a pretty slow stop for their standards, and Hamilton managed to jump us there in the pit. So we're desperately trying to claw on the back of him. But at the next lap, Sebastian Vettel has come out now. And as you can see, we've just about gone round the outside of Sebastian Vettel there. A crucial move if we're to hold what I think might be P5 after the pit stops, because still a couple of cars not pitting. But Hamilton's on the medium tyre, Vettel's on the soft tyre. And as you can see, Hamilton, even on the medium tyres in clear air, he's just pulling away massively, just showing the pace of that Mercedes, and also somehow showing our ability to hold off the ultimate AI around the circuit. But as you can see, Kevin Magnussen on lap 20 out of 29, he's ahead of us in P6, but he's yet to do a pit stop as well. As he comes into the pits, we try and get some cheeky slipstream really pointless to be honest, because it only just lost us momentum down that straight, and Sebastian Vettel is looking feisty behind us, but we've just about managed to keep him behind, and that's us up now into P5. It could have been P4 if maybe Renault hadn't have given us a slow start, but Hamilton's so quick in that Mercedes, I find it very hard to see how we'd have held him back. But Sebastian Vettel has gone past us now down into turn 1, but we're going to brake later and hold it round the outside once again of the Ferrari driver, and as you can see on lap 23, once again Vettel trying to hold it round the outside in so many corners, but we actually get caught on him in the final corner there, which for some reason when you touch an AI they slow down on this game, and they did in 2015, which is really bizarre. But as we can see, neither of us had DRS there, so this is just pure straight line speed, and we've managed to get ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So I think we've definitely running less wings than the AI, because middle sector they seem quite strong, first sector we're able to close up to them, and the last sector we're able to hold our own down the straights. As you can see there, Vettel only just putting alongside us with DRS there, so you know, a really titanic battle with Sebastian Vettel for P5. I didn't expect this, but as you can see on the mini-map, it's just me and Vettel, and I think that might be Ricciardo behind Vettel, but it's only 3 people back, or 2 people I'm holding up. The rest of the guys, we're faster than them. So we're pretty much, I'd say our legitimate pace is probably P7, maybe. But if we're able to hold off these two to secure P5 with only a couple laps now to go in this race, that's going to be such a good achievement. As you can see, Daniel Kvyat in the Toro Rosso is also on the medium tyres. So I think what happened is a lot of cars couldn't do the soft tyre stint in the middle, couldn't take it as long as they thought, so they decided to pit on the medium, and that's why Hamilton's gone on the medium. I thought we'd go on softs because, you know, faster tyre, but I didn't really think about durability. But we've gone down the inside of Sebastian Vettel on lap 28, and he's trying to stick it up the inside, but we've gone round the outside for a beautiful defending position. But coming up onto the last lap now, Nico Rosberg has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. I think he'll take the championship lead with that, as Lewis Hamilton's down in 4th place. But as we can see, our aim at the minute is to hold off Sebastian Vettel. We've jinked to the middle of the circuit, we're squeezing him to the right, we're going to pull back to the left, try and get the momentum round the outside. Final corner, so close to contact, but we've just about managed to secure that. And as you can see, our tyres hit the cliff, everyone behind us caught up, but it doesn't matter because that's P5 for us in the Renault, our first points. What a result.
Okay, Tom, brilliant result, mate. Brilliant result. P5, that's our first point of the season. We know it's going to be a tough season with this car, but we are going to look to develop it as much as we can, mate. And with results like that, it'll make it easier. Great job.
So there we are, guys. P5 in the Bahrain Grand Prix. I cannot believe we've got that sort of result with the same sort of strategy as cars around us as well. Just brilliant defending from ourselves. Our fastest lap, of course, not comparable to the rest of the finishers inside the top 10 pretty much. Maybe compared to Jenson Button, who actually got first points for McLaren, so well done to him. But yeah, just looking down the rest of the field, where did Kevin Magnussen finish? He finished in 17th place, so not a brilliant result for K-Mag there. And that's definitely going to put him behind us in the driver's rivalry now. So he's going to have to step it up next race, China, because I've proved with the right sort of strategy and the right sort of defending and a good start, which was the luckiest bit, we can get points. And there's proof we're on ultimate difficulty. That has been the second race of the season. As we can see here, resource points, we passed obviously, clean laps, positions gained, penalty free, and we got a career mode boost. So a lovely 137 session points in total there. Brilliant result, be able to upgrade the car more. Rivalry, this should see us ahead of Kevin Magnussen now, I'm pretty convinced of that. I think we smashed him in every single section here. Yeah, pretty much. We just needed to get the podium. That's not going to happen in this Renault. We got lucky enough with P5, so, you know, we're ahead of Kevin Magnussen now, which is pretty good because, you know, he's been pretty strong teammate, especially in qualifying. But as we can see now, our driving position in the team is also fair and good, and just here's our career score. Now, the flashbacks is annoying because I like to do mid-session saves, because obviously I don't like to do a whole race in one chunk. Like, I need to go maybe for like tea or something, or get something to eat. So that's annoying how we don't get points for that, but that's been Bahrain. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. Until next time, take care.